A record number of young people, and particularly college-aged men, are committing suicide. Increasing numbers of young people suffer from chronic anxiety and depression. America is generally overweight. But fear not, many of these conditions can be treated or reversed through education and changes in habit. Enter fraternities. Which committee or chairman position is most neglected? Arguments can be made for many, but my vote goes to the Health and Wellness chairman. So, as someone who received a degree in Integrative Health, I figured I should help fill that void. I know, that's a cool brag. How can fraternities build a healthier world? Fraternity leaders today are more attuned to well-being compared to 2 or 3 years ago. That said, our approach to health is fragmented and limited in scope. This isn't due to a lack of concern. International fraternities are just not designed to address the topic. Some have made mental health awareness a priority, but most approach health in the context of risk management. In this audio blog, we'll talk about 19 thoughts to consider for a chapter health and wellness program. Please remember that nothing I share is all or nothing. If you only have time to put together some resources, then that'll do some brothers some good, and some good is better than nothing. I've also divided them into 4 categories: preparation, resources and support, holistic health, and fun and stuff. Number 1, establish chapter goals. Keep your overall chapter goals simple unless health and wellness is a top 3 priority for your chapter. For example, you may make it your objective that all members improve their physical, emotional, and cognitive health prior to graduation. You may track health metrics, weight, body mass, etc., but I would suggest encouraging members to focus on what they can control. We can't control whether we lose weight, for example, but we can control the things we do to lose weight. Most people want to be healthy, so keep your objectives broad enough that they can apply to a variety of people. Not everyone can or wants to be shredded or completely devoid of anxiety. There is such a thing as positive stress. So the goal of any health and wellness plan is to move closer to an ideal. Number 2, build a program around a position or a committee. Here's an obvious fact. Different fraternities lay out different structures and expectations for their officers. That said, your chapter has plenty of room to tinker or innovate. Consider a few different setups while you're in the process of revamping or starting a health and wellness program. For example, you might have a single health and wellness person. If that's the case, your focus should be on resources and collaborative efforts. Collaborate with organizations, departments, or trainers on campus or in the local community. This is an impactful and low-maintenance approach for smaller chapters or chapters without a dedicated health and wellness person. It's easy to manage and easy to maintain. You might have a traditional committee structure. When I say traditional, I just mean that you have a group of 2 or more members focused on a task. Where committees fall apart, in my observation, is a lack of individual specialization. So each member of your committee should have a specific role, and the committee should collaborate to help each role succeed. For example, there may be a member who's focused on mental health resources. Another focuses on physical training. One might be in charge of integrating health and wellness into everyday chapter activities. The chairperson's work, then, is to blend everything together and choose what gets priority and when. Finally, if you want a different approach, you can go with the class leader approach, and this is something along the lines of what I wrote in a post about new member education and Big Brothers. In this setup, you have a health and wellness chairman, just like the others, who oversees a committee. But you would have a member from each class or family tree or whatever internalized teams you have appointed or elected to the committee. It can operate just like a standard committee, but offers 2 unique qualities or benefits. First, it creates a pipeline of potential health and wellness leaders, especially if you go by class year. Second, each person has a well-defined group of members to keep track of. We're not creating separate health and wellness teams. Each quote-unquote class leader supports and keeps track of the progress of each of their class members or family tree members. Number 3, choose optional or mandatory and stick with it. Expectations associated with your health and wellness program must be entirely optional or entirely mandatory. Optional means that everyone, including new members, may opt out, and mandatory means that everyone, including graduating seniors, must take part. It shouldn't be more strenuous for one group of members than another, regardless of which choice you make. Finally, only make it mandatory if it's an essential component of your chapter's identity. That means you take it as seriously as meetings, ritual, fundraisers, and everything else. Number 4, poll the crowd. Use an anonymous or confidential poll to determine what your brothers want out of a health and wellness program. Use a confidential survey to determine what individual members want to improve upon prior to graduation. Do this regardless of your qualification to create a health and wellness program. Set checkpoints after a goal is met or an event is completed to gather feedback. Keep tabs on your members by regularly polling the crowd. You do not have to do what they say, but it's better to make sure that people are into what you are building before you waste a bunch of time or money doing it. Stick to what fits within the scope of your chapter's overarching goal for wellness. Number 5, build a wellness resource bank and share it. The best place to start, whether you are an individual or working with a committee, is to study your environment. Research and compile as many health and wellness related resources as possible. Put them into a bank that you and/or your committee has access to. Share these resources with your members in a variety of ways. Post a flyer about healthy stools and urine inside of bathroom stalls or above a urinal. Send weekly text messages with an article related to exercise or meditation. Print out some simple, nutrient-dense recipes to post in your kitchen. Offer advice on what to get in the cafeteria. You can go crazy. Resources are fun. Number 6, bring in a nutritionist. Find someone professionally capable of discussing nutrition and ask them to speak with your chapter. It could be a professor, a campus professional, an alumnus, or an undergraduate with some sort of certification. Ask them to cover topics like meal preparation, nutrient-dense foods, and dieting. Consider conversations around supplements and disorders. Cover a wide variety of topics and establish a line of communication so that members feel comfortable asking questions. Find someone you trust to occasionally offer advice if you or your brothers have a concern. Again, be sure to keep this professional. Johnny's six-pack may have a six-pack, but not everybody needs pre-workout, a protein shake, and Johnny's boiled chicken recipe. Number 7, track progress, but do it reasonably. For the sake of sticking to your chapter's goals, track progress in some way, shape, or form. You might conduct an annual and confidential weigh-in. You might have a sticker chart to show when members have attended health and wellness activities. But it's best, and I will repeat this often, to keep it simple. You can't know what your successor can handle until your chapter has gotten into the groove and has standardized its health and wellness plan. So start slow and prioritize tracking what people can change. The next point might help. Number 8, health journals. Include in your resource bank a list of apps or physical booklets which can help people track their fitness. Encourage each member to track something. For example, you might encourage brothers to record their meals for 1 week out of each month. Even if a member improves his eating for just that 1 week, it's still 12 weeks of better nutrition each year. Apps provided by Fitbit or that work with Apple Watch track a variety of fitness-related information. There are journals specifically designed to track exercise and eating habits, and beyond all that, keeping a regular journal is good for the mind. It helps people process their day. And it doesn't need to be a rundown of daily activities. Brothers can simply write down their thoughts every once in a while. Leave 5 minutes of your chapter meeting to journal independently. Number 9, bring in a relationship specialist. Incorporate interpersonal relationship education into your health and wellness plan. The relationships we establish with friends, family, and lovers have a major influence on our behavior and our well-being. Find a book to read as a group or recruit a professional to talk about healthy relationships. Number 10, organize orientations. Work with your campus recreation center or a local gym to provide a facility orientation to all of your members. This is essential for chapters with mandatory programming. Ask the staff to explain the features of the facility, its amenities, the types of classes available, and how to use some of the equipment. Gather interest from members to determine who may have a use for a personal trainer. Most facilities offer a free trial with a personal trainer, which is enough time to learn to use the equipment. It can also help in setting personalized goals or benchmarks. Organize additional orientations for your campus or local counseling office, medical center, and any other available recreation or health services. Number 11, offer variety to challenge the muscles. Some members want to outrun a zombie during the apocalypse. Some want to get yoked, and I know that that's kind of an old phrase. Others want to go through a day without contemplating all that's wrong with their lives. Improvements in physical health have a mental effect, so keep your members interested in exercise by encouraging variety. Beyond maintaining interest, variety helps those who have plateaued or who are struggling to find their health and wellness groove. Following the same exercise routine day after day leads to stagnation, so encourage members to switch up their routine and to try something new, such as any of the following options. Number 12, go outside or bring green inside. The more you can do outside, the better. Be sure to pack sunscreen for your fair-skinned friends and then go to wherever there is greenery. Treadmills are depressing, but just being around green plants can boost one's mood. Switching up the scenery contributes to the variety explained in point number 11. Bring some easy-to-care-for plants into your chapter facility if you have one. Succulents require little light, about a tablespoon of water per month, and are small enough to tuck just about anywhere. Again, just being around plants improves our mood. So, line your chapter with green plants to offset the stress of midnight. Number 13, group fitness. Working out together makes working out more fun. It also encourages many people to try harder. Group fitness classes are not for everybody, but try to incorporate them where you can. It could mean Zumba, aerobics, circuit training, yoga, or meditation. It depends on how granola you can get as a chapter. Yoga in particular is a lot of fun to do with a group of brothers. There are likely classes on your campus, but if cost is an issue, you can just follow along with a YouTube video. Do it outside, listen for farts, giggle a little bit, and enjoy the stretch. By the way, strength without flexibility is worthless, so get everyone to stretch, yoga or not. Number 14, mental elasticity. There's more to mental health than depression, anxiety, or suicide. Broaden your mind and focus some effort on mental elasticity. That means doing activities like laughing yoga, for example, for your happiness, but also giving your academically talented members a chance to shine. Websites like Lumosity help train your brain with a variety of addictive games. Lumosity also tracks progress and provides score readouts, which are great for measuring progress. Consider asking members to pick up a second language with Duolingo, or you can learn American Sign Language for free from ASL Rochelle's YouTube videos. Let members practice with one another. Organize a miniature spelling bee, a Jeopardy party, or some sort of simple math challenge. Remember that brains plus brawn is sexy. Number 15, chapter recreation. You don't have to rely on traditional intramural sports to feed your members' competitive itch. Competing with friends is fun, so organize occasional games and mini tournaments within your chapter. These activities serve as wonderful recruiting opportunities as well. Just invite potential new members to a kickball game with some friends. You can get quirky with it too. Touch football is great, but try age-old favorites like kickball, animal volleyball, elimination if it's legal, or freeze tag. I once organized a Chapter the Flag tournament for my chapter and some potential members. It was a ton of fun, we had a ton of fun, and everybody was running around or walking for an hour or two. Number 16. Integrate health and wellness into your brotherhood activities. Make health and wellness a key component of your brotherhood retreats. Go for a hike, relieve some stress at a shooting range if you're into that. If your retreat lasts more than a day, then consider including a ropes course, morning jogs, or yoga at sunrise or sunset. The boost to your energy levels, plus a slew of other chemicals which affect your mental well-being, will result in better quality conversations. Create conversations around any health and wellness activity. Start with, how did that feel, and just go from there. Facilitation is actually pretty easy. You can also integrate health and wellness into your service or philanthropy projects. For example, Pi Kappa Phi has the Ability Experience, which is a perfect example of what we're talking about. But you can do it with just daily activities. So if your chapter already organizes a day to adopt dogs from a local shelter, then just offer to walk or care for the animals before and after the event. Number 17, create media to share online. Live stream your spelling bee, which is an idea I'm really into apparently, on Instagram or Snapchat or Periscope. Organize phony press conferences after an intramural win. Share a clip of your top 3 movers and shakers after a Zumba class. You don't need to put all of this online, but just showing a clip at a chapter meeting for a good laugh and some celebration will feel good. The content you can pull from a health and wellness program can also be social media gold. Just be sure not to make a mockery of your members for the sake of likes and laughs. Number 19, encourage the heart. It's really easy to give up on health and wellness goals. The business model of a gym is such that it expects people to give up and maintain their memberships. It's also easy to cheat using unhealthy habits such as crash dieting. So recognize members who take an active part in your program. Thank the men who show up to your pickup kickball game. Give a certificate to the nimblest mind of XYZ fraternity for winning a Lumosity tournament. Again, focus goals and track statistics based on what people can control. You can give out stickers, certificates, pats on the back, gift cards, or whatever it takes to encourage them to keep improving their body and mind. And you'd be surprised at how many people can be motivated by a $5 gift card. If you have health and wellness program ideas, or if you know something that works, then please reach out and share. You can find me at Fraternity Nick on Twitter, that's Fraternity NIK, Fraternity Man on Facebook, or Cool Company, KOUL Company on Instagram.